Okay.
A guy at work told me, I guess when it was in theaters, he told me he went and seen the new Anaconda with Jack Black and Paul Rudd.
That was a great time.
He hated it. He said it's not worth your time. I watched it. I laughed the entire time.
Yeah.
I had a ball. I loved it. It was like, I remember the original Anaconda. It was tense. John Voight was uncomfortable. Eric Stoltz, just was gone.
Right.
and it was like, take it serious monster movie. I much prefer the, oh my god, it's a fucking dinosaur snake chasing us through the fucking jungle funny.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I'm in the living room watching it, laughing. Karen's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Anaconda." She goes, "Oh my god, that's so old." And I go, "No, the new one." She goes, "There's a new one." So yeah, but no, I had a really good time with it.
On the other hand, the Becky, you guys had talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. Don't believe that the sequel is in my future.
Okay.
I really tried to like it. There's really cool moments in it. And they just they just
She had some cool kills in it. I'll give her that.
yeah.
There were some
It
cool kills, but there was also some points like, "What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?"
yes, the moments of like sheer what the fuck are you doing? This would never happen. This is not how life works. This is not how biology works. Like it felt too grounded in reality for the some of the fantastical elements of the deaths. And it just like I don't know.
The only thing I liked about it was the French guy that
The
wouldn't kill a kid.
I thought he was Russian, but okay.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I just knew
That guy.
he had an accent.
I knew. That guy. I liked him.
I liked that character.
Yeah.
But the number of times you watch a movie like that, and it's like one guy versus an army. Okay, however you mix it, a platoon or an army, or a group of bad guys, one person, not normally a hero, stands up against everybody. The number of times she sees somebody and immediately they die versus the number of times they see her and hesitate to shoot her.
Right.
I'm like, kill her. Search your body. You're done. You've won.
Right.
Move on.
Right.
I hate that in any genre.
I just, man, I wanted to like it. There were times when I found myself like, oh yeah, this isn't that bad. And then they would just do some fucking stupid shit. And I just felt like, well, I'm back here with the dumb shit again.
Yeah. It's like stereotypical the hero can't die stuff. That's why
the fucking plot armor.
Yeah, there was a movie a while ago about people wake up in the field and they are being hunted by the rich gun-toting people, and they're like paralyzed. They wake up and stuff, and it follows a recognized actress through the entire like beginning part of the movie, and then her head blows up, and you follow a different character. I'm like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Let me watch a movie not a single character. This is a situation that all these people are in.
Absolutely.
You can totally bait me with the. I mean, I watch uh, dramas, cop shows, mystery shows, whatever, and it's like the detectives going through, meeting these people, shaking hands, and I recognize that actor. He's definitely the killer because he's the
Right.
only person I recognize. Don't do that. Put them in
Right.
there. I recognize them. They're the mom or the dad or the brother or the neighbor
Hmm.
of the guy that killed everybody.
Yeah.
That would be so much more refreshing to have that than just constantly give it to the person. I mean that and honestly, the character you follow at the beginning of that isn't like super well known. I recognized her from something. I forget what it was. Like uh I forget who the actor was, but I recognized her enough that okay, she's been in something I've seen, and she's okay. Uh, but her dying was way more worth the money they paid to have her on there than dragging her through the whole show and watching her beat everybody.
Sure.
Because the I don't want to call her a hero because she's definitely not a hero. The woman who actually survives and takes a she definitely looks like someone who just doesn't give a fuck and is going to live. Should pick you up by the throat, slam you into the concrete, and let the crows eat the rest of you.
Love that.
But Becky is not your
Beck,
shit, huh?
Becky was not my cup of tea.
Okay.
If I were going to take the time to waste my time and rate that movie on IMDb, I'd give it like a 2 out of 10. I fucking hated it.
Huh?
But I mean that I've been
How much of that is the fact that Kevin James was not uh, believable as a skinhead?
I actually found him more believable than I thought I would.
Okay.
Now I will say, I mean, the character had some flaws in design. It
The
did.
the following those characters up to the cabin,
Yeah.
they were freaking evil as hell. They did a good
Yeah.
job at illustrating these guys don't give a fuck and they will kill you. And then they
Yeah.
meet her and they never kill her.
Right. They kill fuck. Pretty boy. Why can't I remember his name?
The dad,
Yeah.
Joe McHale.
Joe
Joel
McHale.
McHale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, his death was satisfying. Yeah, I know that guy. Oh, he doesn't live. Cool.
I honestly kept waiting for him to get back up.
See, that makes his death even more valuable to me. Like,
Yeah.
no, he
No. I
can't be
mean,
dead. He can't be dead. Oh,
right. Like I was
although
like, oh yeah, he's totally like that night he's going to finally come to and be, not okay, but have found the will to live or whatever. But he didn't, and I'm totally okay with that. It was a
speaking of getting up after they're supposedly dead, whose idea was it to put the rat in my mouth? Oh God,
mm,
or squirrel or whatever it was.
yeah,
Oh God, yeah, I could watch that a couple more times.
yes,
Of
yes,
course, then I was cruising through Amazon and I saw Hot Fuzz was on there, so I had to watch it for the 30th time.
yeah,
I fucking
yeah.
love that movie.
But I've actually, man, I feel like I've run into a bunch of movies lately that I just not a fan of.
You just
I
need another triple B movie to whet your appetite to bring you back to
Listen, man,
understand.
I thought I had it with the astronaut. I thought, oh, this is going to be that cheesy sci-fi thing that's going to, and God, that movie was fucking terrible. And then I tried Becky because everybody, you guys were like, yeah, I like this. This was a fun time. And I watched it.
I watched it, and there was things that annoyed me, like we've discussed, but that happens in every movie. So it's like,
Sure.
ugh, okay, moving on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, she's going to live.
I just, did not like Becky. Don't see the sequel in my future. Man, there's been a bunch of movies like that lately where I'm just like, I don't understand what the enjoyment here was supposed to be. Am I getting old? Is that the problem?
Maybe.
I did watch
Yes.
something. Okay. Yes. Cool. Did anyone else watch the roast of Kevin Hart?
No.
Whew.
Not a big roast fan, but I did see. I keep seeing the clip of blonde lady saying, "Now that your boy is made the draft mandatory, are you plebs gonna sign up to fight or something?" I keep seeing that clip.
Oh, Chelsea Handler. That was one of the more. Yeah, that was one of the more tame things she said.
Well,
holy shit.
they only have it on repeat because it's a attack on the right.
Oh no, the other things that she had to say to Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchman or Hanklin or whatever the fuck that dude's name is. That was the most tame thing she said to them in response to them being fans of the current administration.
Yeah.
I am a fan of roasts. I do enjoy it as a medium. It was a good time for what it was. It was a good time. I don't think it was as good as the roast of Tom Brady. I think that was still probably one of the best modern roasts. But this one was pretty good. Pete Davidson's hit on Tony was probably the one that's gonna get the most airplay. Because
I don't really like that. His bring an amateur comic up and rip on them but expect them to be funny in a minute. I don't really like that. I don't like that format.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kill Tony.
I'll watch 20 minutes of someone stand up and decide, okay, they're not for me, and move on.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch somebody stand up 20 times and love it every time. It's just, I'd rather give them a chance to tell me who they are than this jackass poke fun at them.
Right. The Kill Tony idea, not my thing. I understand why some people like it.
I do like the one that Bill Burr was on, and it just totally attacked Tony. I see that clip.
That one.
There's a whole video of basically times that Bill Burr roasted a host to their face, and like say something dumb, like God, the one comedian has a podcast, and him and his wife, and he's like, what are you trying to psychoanalyze me? Like you're like my therapist? She goes, well, I've been in therapy for 20 years. He goes, I've been watching football for 40 years. I shouldn't be anybody's coach. And I'm like, yes, logic. That is his greatest weapon, I think. He just spells it out like this equals this, and this is why you don't equal your point. He totally just tore into Tony.
I won't repeat the Pete Davidson joke because that would violate all terms, services, and use license agreements and all that shit.
Okay.
It invokes a certain dead right wing podcaster.
That you've said
But
enough.
Yeah, that wow, that that was probably my favorite joke of the night. It embodied everything that I enjoy about roasts. It was questionable as to whether or not that joke would ever fly outside of the confines of a roast. It was topical. It was pointed at someone on the dais. Is everything that you want. It was also probably crossing a line.
My friend
I mean, the
posted on.
irony that the
Go ahead.
free speech was this whole thing
Yes, yeah.
shouldn't be crossing a line.
No, it shouldn't, but it probably did.
I see the. I keep seeing things about the terrorist guidelines came out, and they listed Antifa as something they're watching as
Sure.
a sign. Being a member of Antifa is a sign that you're a terrorist.
Okay.
Oh, can they show me Antifa on the map?
Yeah,
Yes. Is
That-
Antifa in the room?
yeah. But it's like words have no meaning. Anti-fascism is the polar opposite of terrorist, I guess. Well, not necessarily. I guess they could make that, but that and the tyrannical left are listed as things. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's a word salad to rile
Yeah.
up the base.
Mm-hmm.
They're after the Truth Social post and then retweeting of the image of the Truth Social post by the White House today regarding Trump's desire to just annex a country to be the 51st state. I mean, it's feeling a little bootlickery and goose steppy in here.
Yeah. Par for the course. Jeez.
Oh,
So how's the wonderful world of Dylon?
everybody's sick and sick adjacent, and nobody's happy. So I was late because I was talking my kid down from just absolutely bawling himself to sleep because he doesn't feel good, but they're doing stupid ass diagnostics for end of the year stuff in school. So he's worried about missing those, which I don't care at all because it's not like he's ever scored poorly.
Right.
And yeah, it's just, it's sinus infection season. And so everybody is feeling like crap the whole time. And I'm just worried that if he misses one day, then he's still going to be sick 3 more days. And then it's just a lot. But
then the other one's sick, and he's sick again, and
yeah, the other one's not allowed to get sick because he's got to turn in his homework because he is actively trying to fail things.
Is this?
So,
I think I had my initial gut reaction on who was who. I think I had the kids backwards.
the younger one is sick.
Oh, okay. The oldest is trying to fail things?
Yeah, the younger one has straight A's. The older one will not turn in his homework for shit.
Isn't the older one still doing the college thing?
Yeah, and he's doing more of it next year. He's just not turning things in. It's not a skill issue. It's just, yeah. I mean, I feel like this is one of those situations where in the real world, you'd have your phone to set reminders. You'd have like pop-ups in your email and stuff like that you could rely
Sure.
on. And they're not allowed to have their phones in school. So it's not like he can get himself a reminder to do certain things. And as soon as he walks out of that classroom, he forgets everything that just happened.
They're not allowed to have their phone in school?
Nope. That's a new state law this year. You cannot have your
Jesus
phone
fucking
on during
Christ.
school hours. It was funny because I saw, I don't even think it was Ohio, but I think this is like a thing that they try to do in a bunch of states. But somebody was like, they don't want us to have our phones out so we can't record fights. And somebody was holding up his Chromebook with the camera facing forward, recording somebody fighting in the cafeteria.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a good thing, but at the same time, like, it sucks for people that have ADHD and need to be able to take notes right then and set themselves reminders and stuff. So, I don't know. I just need the school year to be over, and then we'll try again next year.
Yeah, like the boomers' backlash on technology just baffles my brain.
Right. I mean, it was getting bad. I get it. Like, you talk to teachers, but, like, it's not like the kids are better without their phones this year.
Right.
The kids are still underperforming assholes. And, like, they can be actively disrespectful because parents don't give a fuck anymore. They send them to the babysitter. And if the babysitter has a problem, that's the babysitter's problem.
I just
Correct.
came up with a brilliant phone app idea. Instead of airplane mode, it's school mode. It only allows you to access the calculator, your receive messages, and your calculator. You can call 911 and your calendar.
I mean,
Yeah, they'd break it.
yeah, they'd get jailbroken real quick.
I mean, they were like sending text messages on like the TI calendar or TI whatever's at times,
Yeah.
just because they can always find a way to do it.
That's the thing. Like, you are never going to out tech the youngest generation. You're never going to be able to legislate it out of them because they're ahead of all of us.
I mean, I guess you could just make it less user friendly and they'd kind of crumble, but
Maybe.
they are not good at troubleshooting and doing a lot of other stuff.
Just have them do their unlock code is a math problem.
I mean,
Then they'd just
it
be
may
paying
be
the nerds to get into their phones.
right. It may be as a whole they're not good at it, but I don't know. I guess I did a good job raising mine. Took a minute, but I've got them all functioning Google users.
Oh yeah, no, like
It took some browbeating.
every time I think my kids are like, no, we're doing fine. Like they're about average. I hear about other kids and I'm like, oh shit. We are all of us here doing well above average with our kids compared to the
Yes.
general population right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like so far above that like you kind of forget that what you would have considered the bottom back when you were in school is now the top 90%. Like, it's bad. We're all doing fine with our kids. Everyone else is
I'm
not.
proud as hell as both of my kids. They have
I-
full-time jobs and their own lives and doing great.
I actually
Right.
have a thing, and I've got two separate stories involving two separate kids. Both of them doing impressive things. So the boy who will and forever be Captain Cake Penis.
Yes, he will.
Weirdest birthday ever. The good old days. So they were doing the state test this week, and he got a perfect score on the math.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the test that the math test
That'll
is
get
what
you some attention.
he's
Yeah.
supposed to be doing in school.
So, it's like I think while everybody's given him grief, and while I'm giving him grief and making sure that the girls will ensure that he doesn't live out on the street, I think he went and secretly maybe the most advanced of all of us.
Trickle down economics.
So
Trickle down education.
So that was with that one, and then my mooch, the oldest,
Mooch.
yeah, is fucking mooch. So before we were recording tonight, we were all kind of up in the kitchen, and they're like, "Yeah, so I got an interview at the zoo tomorrow." And we were kind of excited, but at the same time, it's like, how the fuck is she going to do a remote job at the zoo? Because there's no way she can take one of the cars an hour to get to the zoo. But then she elaborated. She said, because apparently they're looking for a goat. And I was kind of, I was so proud in that moment.
I'm sorry. She was referring to herself as the goat?
Yes, she was.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
And to clarify, she doesn't mean greatest of all time, right?
No, I think that's what she meant.
That is precisely what she meant, sir.
See, I thought it was self-deprecating.
I'm unsure how else that would be taken.
I don't know. I thought she was making fun of herself.
Is she very good at eating tin cans?
I don't think so.
I'm just saying, like, how else would he take it that she's the goat?
Huh.
Yeah, no.
No.
So my youngest starts their job in Cleveland, technically on Sunday. We are still trying to get an apartment secured. This has been just all the fun.
Yeah, I mean, moving her in while she's at her first day of work.
Pretty much, yeah. That's kind of how it feels right now. But full that this, because it does satisfy the requirements for her to live off campus. So the hope is this will just be the thing for now. We can just, focus on getting him moved, get him set up, get it, handled. Hopefully. I really hope so.
That is a lot of hope
It
going on
is.
there.
Well, she's making up for all the ease of moving out you had with the second one. She's gonna
I
take
don't
all
know if I
his.
would call that ease personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, the move from here to my rental, yeah, that was easy. The move from my rental to a new town, uh, that was not.
Okay. But he had found a place and, participated in the moving.
Uh, sort of. When it was day to move, and when we showed up to move him, not a goddamn thing was packed.
That's part of the moving process.
I'm aware.
The day of.
Packing everything.
Nah. I had to rush out of work yesterday to meet Karen at her parents' because she was there with a guy who was looking at the windows that need replaced before we can sell the place because they're falling out of the attic.
Oh,
And her brother texted her and said he was on his way.
for
And I'm
what?
like, shit. So I did not want her there alone with him
What
because
was he
in the
on his way
past
for?
he has been an asshole. So
I was
cut out
under
of
the
work early,
impression.
which I hate to do. I hate to do that.
I was under the impression that he no longer lived there.
He doesn't, but a bunch of his shit is there. And he needed to come by and pick up some stuff. I think clean clothes topped the list.
I don't mean to be rude here.
Yeah,
So if I'm overstepping, please let me know.
you can't. I don't think you can. He's
He
done.
was evicted,
Lapped us on
right?
the, yeah.
He has no standing to come back.
Put that shit on the
Yeah.
side of the road.
Yeah. You're correct. But he does. Whatever. That, and he walks in and he's got these big honking glasses on. And he wears glasses, but I've never seen these before. And as he's standing there in front of me, I see on the side it says Meta.
Huh.
And I'm like, he goes upstairs to get some stuff, and I'm like, Garen, he's wearing those glasses, and I guarantee he's recording this. Where'd he get money for those? I have no idea.
Jesus.
That, and he showed up, like 4:30, quarter till 5, which totally contradicts the text she got earlier this week, which said he got a new job working 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Can we watch his dog during that time? And I'm like, how are you here? You're supposed to be at work. So, yeah. Family sucks.
How the turns have tabled.
Yeah. But what else fun happened?
Let's see. So I messaged, I think it was last week, talking about I had found a band that needed to be the fictional Chad's favorite band of all time.
Fictional Chad?
Yes, like the still able to claim some Mexican
That one. Half
Heritage.
Mexican, half Hebrew.
Yes, that one that I believe is kind of the canon of Jeff's fiction.
Yeah.
So
it might be, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. So I deep dove that band over the weekend. Well, late last week and over the weekend. I listened to basically everything that they have out on Spotify and YouTube. Flow Pasado is apparently the metal genre of my preference for my Mexican metal artists.
It's your band equivalent to your spirit animal.
Pretty much, yes.
Your Patronus, if you will.
Yeah. I'll allow it. Because they man, they take what you would consider like traditional mariachi flair and mix that with the slightest bit of very specific Mexican R&B and rap, and mix that with a kind of Deftonesy kind of metal sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just shove all that shit in a fucking blender and then just
I will not
play.
be labeled.
Yes, correct. They call themselves Flow Pasado as their genre. And you know what? Yeah, that fits. There is Jeff, you and I talked about this early on in the life of this podcast. The cartel music.
Yes.
There is some elements of that genre in what they talk about.
Okay.
But it feels a little less after learning a little bit about them. It feels a little less performative and more this is the history of where I grew up in its telling. So there's a slight difference in that, but still is very interesting shit. Truly a good time. The band's name, I'm going to butcher it because my Spanish pronunciation is terrible, is Ladrones, Ladrones. Yeah, big fan. So that was fun for me, at least.
Cool.
Anybody else got anything fun? I can talk more music if I need to.
I don't know. Did we talk about it before we started recording, or did we talk about Anaconda after?
Before,
yeah. We can talk about that. I love that movie. I'll talk some more.
I watched the new Anaconda movie starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd and others. Was a good time. Exactly what I needed from that movie. Big monster, good effects. I would say decent effects. The snake looked really cool, and cool cameos.
Yes.
And just good comedy. Just some of it was like totally surprising. The scene on the boat where the snake is in Paul Rudd's face.
Uh-huh.
How that scene resolves totally caught me by surprise.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
oh shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool. The characters they pick up, the snake wrangler, love
Mhm.
that character.
Yes.
totally fun. Uh yeah, just a good time.
Yeah, we watched it with the kids a couple of weeks ago, and everybody enjoyed it.
The one thing that I was not prepared for, and this is probably like wholly my fault, I, based on the previews that I had seen and a lot of the like online marketing they had done for the film, I was not prepared for it to be Jack Black and Paul Rudd playing normal, like not themselves. I was under the impression that the reboot aspect of this was Jack Black and Paul Rudd doing this.
Mm-hmm. Like
So
them as stars, not
them as Jack Black and Paul Rudd. Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
when
honestly prefer it the way it ended up being.
yes,
It's
absolutely. This was
a lot
such
more
a
fun.
yes. Had a great time with that. And that was a good time.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody here really pays attention to SNL or anything, right?
I do.
Okay. Did you watch Matt Damon?
I see clips a lot. I don't.
I did watch the Matt Damon.
I thought he did a really good job. I enjoyed it.
I
very much enjoyed the auctioneer sketch at the end.
Oh my god,
that was really like weird original idea that I've not seen anybody attempt before, and it was fantastic. Like the fact that he kept it up the entire scene, and
yes,
even the school one where it wasn't the funniest, but it was more impressive that he was able to keep it up the whole time.
Absolutely, yeah,
just fantastic.
Yeah, I will say this cast. There are some on this cast that like I absolutely love, and there are some that I really hope decide to move on soon.
Right.
But man, the Matt Damon sketches really highlighted some of the high performers that they have right now.
You can tell there's certain weeks where like we're just dealing with these people, and that's kind of who we're bringing. And then it's almost like some of them take a week off because they're either did really well the week before or they've got good rapport with the guests coming up the week after, and so they kind of save it.
Right.
But yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
The cold open.
I know Matt Damon's good, but I didn't remember liking him that much the other times he hosted, but it's been a few years.
When he said that it was his third time hosting, I was one of those like, oh wow, I definitely thought it had been more times than that.
Yeah. But he seems like somebody that would have just popped up randomly, you would have forgotten about it, but like you knew it was on there, and it really wasn't. Yeah,
he was a super good time. I thought his rapport with Ashley Padilla in those sketches was just top notch. I think that she's probably, in terms of like who's on the cast right now, I think she's probably like the best they've got right now, outside of the old standbys, you know, Mikey Day, Keenan, but of the like new blood.
Mikey Day's getting right towards the end. He might got one more season in him.
I was honestly surprised he came back for this year.
Yeah. And I think just because he's here this year and I haven't heard anything yet, and we're coming up on the finale, that he's probably sticking around another year.
Probably.
Because I feel like he's not going to be an off season.
No.
Get rid of. He may pull like a Christmas exit like Bowen, but yeah, you don't just
He's going
decline
to
to
have
renew a
his
contract.
send off. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to have his moment to say goodbye. Also, really surprised at
think it's getting
Che
close.
and yeah, definitely getting close. Surprised that Che and Jost have survived this long.
When one leaves, the other one definitely will be shortly
Oh,
after.
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
I honestly
They
think
come as a pair. Yeah.
I think Jost does more writing than I think about him doing.
Right.
Like he writes for a lot of different things, and now he's playing Hegseth, so he's got that going for him.
Right.
But yeah, Michael Che. Apparently, like you never see Michael Che at the last wrap up on stage because like he does his segment and he literally goes home. Like he's
Really?
posted before times where he is already at home before the show's over.
The fuck?
Yeah, he does the job he is paid to do and goes home.
That seems odd.
I mean, he's never going to be in a sketch, so he doesn't have to be there. But yeah,
I guess, yeah.
Why isn't he going to be in a sketch? I don't get it.
that's just not his role. He was basically, I mean, he's a comedian. He's basically there to be a writer for Weekend Update and possibly other stuff previously, but I think it's mostly just Weekend Update now. And I like it enough that I'm not like, oh, it's gotten old. They need to replace one or the other of them. Still my favorite part every week.
Yep. I would agree with that.
So I don't know. But yeah, people have been assuming they were going to leave for this will be at least the second year of it, where they're like, I don't know why they're still there. I thought they'd already be gone. But yeah, we got one more episode. Did you watch any SNL UK?
I've been watching a little bit of it. I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, I think they're doing very good with it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's the UK. I think they can get away with a little bit more than we can here.
They
but
can.
Also
they can't do political humor.
Oh, absolutely, they can.
They open with the
Usually they have
political
to do
stuff
the
just like we
puppets.
always do.
Used to be they had to if they made fun of Parliament, it had to be like puppets and shit.
Are you thinking of? I mean, there's a show that does that in France, but like, I don't know. I think they've pretty much made fun of people on all their shows that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 or 3 weeks straight, the cold open was all about Keir Starmer. Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't think they can show actual footage from Parliament. I think that's what it is.
No, they cannot.
Oh well,
that's it. That's it.
If you want to show actual,
that's where the puppets come in. Yeah.
Oh, that part. Okay, that makes more sense because, I mean, when you're acting it out on stage, you don't need puppets, so
no,
it takes care of itself.
Yeah, they've been roasting their current prime minister over his ties to some dude who has who's in the Epstein files and not named Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
That he gave a job to, and everybody was like, why?
Right. It's like, well, is it a good idea? Maybe we'll just try it. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good sign when, like, you don't have enough pull to not give him a job, so probably means something else is going on. Like, what's he got that he got a job where it wasn't enough to go, hey, sorry, I can't give you a job because you're in the Epstein files.
Right.
Can't give you a job because you're not in the Epstein files.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea, but
Yeah, definitely SNL UK has been fun to watch.
yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Glad that they decided to give that a try. The difference in humor is a fun piece.
Where do you view
Yeah,
this
their
at?
weekend update has been savage on a couple of those. Like
Yeah,
the jokes that they've made were like, ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
It's
Apparently
on
you're allowed to
Peacock,
do
right?
that.
Oh, yeah. I'm not. I'm not down with the Peacock. It's one of the 80 subscriptions that I don't have.
So we got rid of Hulu Live because we were paying for the Disney Plus Hulu ESPN bundle with our Verizon. That was how we were getting our Disney Plus. So we were like, well, okay, so if we have Disney Plus with the ESPN package, and then we have Peacock, and then we already had Amazon Prime. Like the only one that we wouldn't have had for the sports games would then be Paramount Plus and Fox. I don't give a shit enough about Fox Sports to need to have Fox games.
The home of Joe Buck.
What do they have? Some baseball and like the NFC?
Yeah, they've got some NFC games.
But I mean,
So it's like,
there's nothing.
okay.
They used to have a lot more stuff that I cared about, I guess, and I just don't
Right.
anymore.
So we canceled Hulu Live, picked up Paramount Plus, and yeah, saved ourselves some cash. And I'm only going to miss out on Joe Buck and Troy Aikman calling football games, and I'm okay with that.
I can live without Joe Buck. Clay Aiken.
Huh?
Yeah,
Troy
Aikman.
Troy Aikman. Clay Aiken.
I was going to say,
Troy
missing
Aikman.
out on that
He's
American
a
Idol.
decent broadcaster.
Yeah, he's decent. The problem is he comes with Joe Buck.
Yeah, he's got a side of nasty potato salad.
Yeah, so I'm okay with just saying, you know what, I don't need that. And I'm a-okay with making that choice. And it's just $70 a month.
Yep.
And the only show that I watched on Hulu Live that I'm not able to get now is a show I was really only watching because it was on anyways. So, oh no, I can't watch The Curse of Oak Island.
Oh no.
However,
Your life
will I
is richer.
survive?
I'll tell you what, the whole season you missed, they still haven't found it.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
So
It's not
we
a spoiler.
switched from Verizon to another carrier back the 1st of March. And we got a bill in the mail the end of April for the fifth line of our account, which, when we closed our account, we're taking these for the rest are trash. They didn't close it. They just decided to bill us for it. So they sent us a bill, and I'm like, I'm not paying this. And I went to the store, and they said, I can't help you. You have to call this number. I'm like, okay, fine. I called the number, and the guy assured me it's canceled and that bill's taken care of. And I go, can you send me a confirmation or something that I can have? And he goes, well, since you don't have any phone numbers, we can't send it to a different phone number. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It's closed. Fine. Karen tells me tonight that automatic withdrawal from Verizon, the money for that bill. I'm like, what the? So I get on the phone with a nice lady from another country who has an accent that makes conversation just a little difficult. But I finally illustrate to her why this should not be happening and why I want it refunded and further cancel this thing. And she wants a 4-digit PIN number for me to access the account. I'm like, I don't have an account. I don't have a PIN number. So I had to go to the store and sit there for 40 minutes while the guy fought with his tablet and whoever he called on the phone in order to reset my 4-digit number so that I could come back home and call them again and finally get the refund. I'm like,
Wow.
son of a bitch, let me out. All I could think of is, you're not going to get this reference, but Chandler saying, I want to quit the bank. So, yeah, my next step was to change my bank account. I'd rather deal with that than deal with them. But
Yeah, I get it.
and
Wow.
then the guy, I'm finally on the phone the second time and canceling it, and the guy's asking me why I left, and I'm like, it's just too expensive. And he's like, well, if you get at least 4 lines, it's only $30 a line. I go, it's never $30 a line. And he goes, oh well, if you do this and this, and I'm like, dude, it's $300 plus dollars every time, no matter what you say. And he's like, oh, okay. I go, I've already left. I'm already working with someone else. I'm not coming back. You can save the pitch. Read the room.
Yeah.
Well, even if they can read the room,
they're still going to give you the pitch. Yeah.
That's what they get yelled at for. So
that's what they get yelled at for, not giving the pitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
They
fine
have
with
my
like
pity.
having to say no a couple of times because sometimes they got to hear 2 or 3 no's or whatever it is. Like, I get it. That's their job. It sucks. I give them the no's. And then if they still persist, that's when I'm like, okay, well, fuck this guy. But the first couple of no's, I get it. You're hitting your metrics. You're trying to not get fired. Like 5th or 6th time, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but hopefully this is actually resolved now, and I can not see a bill in the mail again.
I'm going to give it about a 75% chance you're going to see another bill, my guy.
I don't know. Did you sign up for paperless billing? Because you're probably still going to get billed, but you just may not see a bill in the mail.
Well, we still haven't seen it refunded. He said by Friday or Monday. If not Friday, it'll be in back in the bank Monday. So if we don't see it then, yeah, I still have his number.
You should have told him, see you next Tuesday.
Yeah. But
what I'm hearing is that you are going to be contacted again, and you're probably better off entering witness protection, getting a new identity and a new bank,
probably
than working it out with the phone company.
When I was on the phone with the first lady, I'm like, I just want this to stop, and I want my money back, and I want it canceled. Do I have to bomb Verizon for this to happen? And Karen's like, don't say that. The cops will show up. And I'm like, I think they know I'm joking. She goes, no, they won't. And I'm like, okay, fine.
I mean, everybody's joking until somebody shows up at a Verizon, and then now they take everything seriously. Like,
Yeah. Well, I think our Verizon was the one somebody threw a brick through the window and stole all the JBL speakers.
Nice.
you're saying they bricked all the phones?
Well, the phones are worthless if you steal them. You can't activate them. Apparently, or they're all locked up or what. But
Yeah, but
they
you just
have
got to
like on the
resell them
shelves.
before
They
they
have the
figured
on
that
the
out.
yeah, you can't resell them. That's it. The JBL speakers and the Bluetooth, all that crap, headphones and stuff are just sitting there on the shelves. So somebody here in town got needy.
Well, sometimes you just need something.
My daughters both went and seen Sheep Detectives
Yeah.
this weekend, and they both said it was excellent. And honestly, I saw a preview for it, and I actually was thinking, I would go see that. That looks cute.
I am
But
also interested in seeing that.
I think it looks fun. They said it was good. Darby said she
I'm not
cried a
picking
couple
it up.
times.
Is this like a children's show, or what is this?
No, it's Hugh Jackman is a shepherd, has a flock of sheep. It's in England or Ireland or somewhere, and he gets killed somehow. He dies, and the sheep, who are all talking to each other, the humans don't understand them. They decide they're going to solve the shepherd's mystery or the shepherd's killing. They're going to solve the crime. And it's just the hijinks that it's basically Chicken Run the sheep, but somebody got killed.
Is it that same animation style, or is it live
No,
action?
it's live action.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
live
real
action.
sheep.
Okay.
They said they both said it
Because
was
this very
excellent.
much seems like a Wallace and Gromit show, so I'm just
No, but I did see.
double checking.
I saw online that they are going to be doing a claymation in the style of Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep, animated movie or series. I can't remember which one of Pokemon, where Pokemon, the actual characters, are the main focus of the story, not the people who catch them and make them fight in animal fighting rings.
Not the slavers.
Yeah, not the slavers. But
That's
Okay.
weird. But yeah, sure, okay. I mean, someone will watch it, I'm sure.
Can you imagine the dialogue for that?
I would really like to see the at least the animation, right? What it looks like as doing Pokemon of various origins in that claymation style would be kind of cool looking.
I will take your word for it.
I have a Pokemon trading card game on my phone that all I do is go in once or twice a day and open a pack just to look at the art on the cards. I have not played it.
They've done some weird sets, and like I do believe one of their sets, like the animation style, literally was claymation.
Oh, they
Like
have all kinds of cards. Yeah.
They did one also where everything was basically like a Pokemon action figure, just set outside in like a real world setting
Mm-hmm.
that they took pictures of. Like I feel like over the years they've gone crazy with some of the
Yeah, it's all
art
about the
directions.
variations on the art. Yeah,
Hmm.
because you can only have you can have infinite number of Pikachu's if they keep coming out with different cards of him. Each one has different ability and or different variation on the numbers or whatnot.
Right.
But Bramblegast. Okay, that's a new one. So, any thoughts on the game we were?
it's funny. I had a bunch of thoughts, and I'm like, oh, that'll be cool. I'll talk about that. And then I went and looked through the notes. I'm like, oh, we already talked about everything I just thought about.
Oh, okay.
That does
One of the things.
tell me one thing.
What,
Probably
that I
good
read your notes?
ideas.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it was more of a design type of thing. Like when we do whatever the cards are, I'd like to keep, like we mentioned, the fuel and the fuel, scrap, food, and I want to do like a trade goods or like something to represent that type of stuff as like the 4 things that you can plus or minus on the side of every card. And then we can add in additional stuff depending on if it's a character card or if it's an item card or if it's a whatever. But I feel like the base design should start with 4 circles for each of those. Not that every card's going to have a number in there, like it could be a 0, but just so it's kind of tied together and looks the same. And then I'm not
It'd be
looking
cool to have a number there, like a 0, to represent they don't have any of that, but also have a minus or a dash to represent they can't have any of that.
Oh, you mean
Like
just like a
a road
like a
warrior
red?
can't have any wheat. They can't sow crops. So, they can't have, they can only
Well,
get
no,
it in pillage by taking it from other people. They can't gather it themselves, I guess.
I'm just saying for like the cards that would flip up, basically during the shopping phase, the characters and the items would have those 4 plus or minuses represented, and then they'd have their own abilities and all the other stuff. And you can have different restrictions on your factions for different things, but I just wanted everything that flips up to have the same basic layout so that we're not looking at a bunch of wildly different card designs for the different card types.
I get you.
I like that.
Now, they could have different colors or something, but I feel like I should always be able to see the 4 columns for pluses and minuses.
That makes sense.
Just like you have the, cost on a magic card at the top corner of every card. It's not, that doesn't change no matter what the card type or text does.
I mean, now you're talking about like a well-established, finely tuned machine of corporate greed. I don't know if we can meet those kinds of restrictions, my guy.
I'm not
It's not
talking
really
about
our
anything
game,
other
yeah.
than make sure it looks the same on every card design part.
As long as it doesn't add to the production cost, we can do it.
No, this is entirely what the layout of the cards will look like. It doesn't make the cards bigger or smaller or do anything to anything.
It's all my end, yeah. The setup, yeah.
Right. But also, if we have all that information on there, there's less art that you need to work out on the cards.
And we are already agreed that we're probably going to capitalize on icon language.
Right.
So those circles with numbers in it just being either a icon next to it to represent what it is, or a certain color to represent, yellow is gas, kind of thing.
Yeah, we could go by color. That would be fine.
I would rather go symbol, just because color gets us into the colorblind issue.
Okay. We could do both. Have the color and then the symbol next to it to reinforce.
I was
that.
already going to look at the colorblind options to make sure everything was colorblind friendly, no matter what. So, no matter what we do, that wasn't going to get forgotten.
I saw somebody on YouTube was painting up some figures, and it was a old, like 10-year-old discontinued game, but it comes with a couple sprues of characters, and he was painting them up and stuff. And he didn't really talk about the gameplay of the game, but just the way he had it set up made me think of our game with the tiles and the dominoes kind of thing, building just a maze of corridors or pathways, and having then I started imagining, like, what are we doing with that? Is there actually a combat element, like we're moving through there, spending gas to traverse certain places and encountering another player, or a built-in obstacle that we have to somehow compare numbers, roll dice.
I mean, I guess I kind of figured that there was some sort of combat element to it, but if
Yeah,
I
if we're
imagine
gonna
it'd
do
be a phase of the game where we would place the tiles at like the start of the turn, like a certain part of the turn, and then your actions to move to do whatever. Like the person that flips it may get to do one thing, and then the person that holds it at the end of the round may get a different thing, just depending. Like, I think there should be different types of bonuses based on like whoever has the most of this resource here, or whoever flipped the card, or whoever controls it at the end of the round gets this benefit, and we can vary that on each card.
I thought there would be a damn it, I got involved with what you're saying, and I can't remember what I was thinking. Shit.
If you want time to think about it, I got a thing.
Okay, go for it.
All right. So this is it's sort of three ideas in one. But it also fits with the different phases of the game. So first phase is discovery of the world. Once the world gets discovered, then you move into the exploratory phase, where you're now out and moving about in the world and trying to start weaving out the tentacles of control. But it's mostly about getting your people out into the world. And then the third phase is that control domination with combat. And I could see combat being up to like 2 spaces away, maybe with some penalties, because range, there's no reason these cars can't shoot each other.
Right.
I
Now you're saying
remembered
every
what I was
turn,
thinking.
right?
At the end of your turn?
For the combat? Well, the combat would be
No,
like a
like
whole...
every one of these things would happen every turn. You're not saying
no,
like...
I was actually now floating with an idea that there's like a whole portion of the game that is just devoted to the discovery of the world.
Okay.
Like you build the game board, and then you play on the game board.
Okay,
We got to
think
make that
that's
fun somehow. There's got to be some stuff happening.
Well, there'd always be strategy. There'd always be unreveal type of things you could do with it.
Sure. We just got to make sure that we're not repeating the sins of a previous design where that was a impediment to getting to the part of the game that was fun.
Sure.
And I remembered what I was thinking. The movement phase, or when we're moving around the board, it'd be kind of cool if everybody like we have cards in our hands, and they represent straight ahead, left, right, reverse, whatever, and we put them down in a certain order, and then everybody reveals them at the same time. Everybody moves their stuff, and then where people cross or where people end up, then there's conflicts. Like you don't know if you're going to get in a fight or not, but you want to get over to that certain spot.
So you're talking about, there are games that include that as a mechanic, but you're talking about including programming.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, you would lay out your movement cards or whatever,
Because
tokens.
I've got a pirate game that or the boy has a pirate game. I don't know. Somewhere in this house there's a pirate game, and it's all about pushing your opponents off the plank, but everybody is sort of secretly setting up their sort of programmed moves for the turn.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how fun that would be, or how, welcome people would be to that mechanic, but I find it I've always liked that in D&D, like the DM rolls your saves. You don't know if you succeeded or failed, especially social saves. Like roll deception. He
So
rolls the number, you tell him the modifier, and you live with the consequences.
you're going to find two schools of thought on that, and there's the American school of thought that is like chaos, yay, and then there's the rest of the world that is going to be less than enamored at having no having so much that they have little to no control over.
That's kind of where I was at with it. Like, this sounds like an interesting idea, and I'm not saying I don't want to at least vet it out. But the first time that I end up in a situation where I can't go left, I need to be able to go like front, straight, straight or right, and all I have is back or left, I'm not going to want to play that game anymore.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like if that's the way we decide to go, we can work out certain things.
It could just be like, you play these are the tokens that are on the board. You put face down a token of your destination, where you want to go. Somehow we have that marked.
Okay.
And then, oh shit, 2 people are going to that place. Well, gonna have to see who controls it at the end of this. Or
that could be interesting.
You might control it at the end, but I ran away with all the goods because of cards I played.
Yeah.
I robbed it. You can have the empty field. I think that, I know it adds a bit of chaos and it takes kind of agency out of some people's hands, but it also might just be the thing that makes people engage with other players rather than just run from them the entire time.
I don't think that takes agency away from anybody.
I think, because we mentioned it before a bit, like there'd be different rings of when you're building the board type of thing. I think we could do like 3 total phases to the game, where you build out the board for phase 1, and then you take all your turns and your actions until whatever trigger hits. And then you build out the board in phase 2, and like, I could see building it out and then all your turns happen, rather than, it only gets built out once. But then you can take a bunch of turns after the build phase until we hit whatever trigger we decide is going to be the trigger to move into the next phase. That way, you're building the board, you're playing on the board, you get to make multiple moves without a bunch of new board pieces popping up, but also you're able to build the board more. Like if you don't like the board, because like if the board gets built shitty up front and there's no more board building, then how do you reconcile that?
I was just thinking, you had mentioned before how the the tiles could be two-sided.
Right.
One side
still
could
like
be
that idea.
the first phase, and the other side could be when in the conflict phase, we something happens there, and this location has now been destroyed or burnt or captured or is under control. A settlement's built there, whatever, is the other side of that card. So you going there, your goal is to flip that card and either collect all those resources or collect that location.
We could do that. The part of the reason I wanted the two-sided cards was for the
Multiple.
like the added.
Yeah.
Right. You deciding which one you want to use because it might be good in both phases, but you can only use it in one, so there's a bit of strategy there. And
Right.
also to save on the number of cards you have to create to build the board.
Mm-hmm.
So it does both in a way that I liked, rather than, because we could do it any other way. It's just, I don't want us to have 3 times as many cards.
Yeah, I get you.
To build the board with, if we can.
Yeah. Just something that popped in the head.
Right. No, it's fine. And I mean, all this might go wrong when we play test it, and we got to go back and redo it all again. So, may as well throw out all the ideas we can to start.
I look
That's
forward to
never
that happening
happened.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite parts of Deadlands was the chess aspect of it, moving around and maneuvering and
Yeah, I think we all like that. I think that's definitely got to be part of the game.
We just have to make sure it's actually has a purpose other than just we wanted to include it.
Sure. Everything.
Yeah, and I think we can do that with either way with what we've been talking about. Like,
yeah.
Either way, it'll have strategy. It's just what strategy way we want to go with it.
Oh,
sorry,
no, it's just
I don't know. Again, the progress in the discussions that we've had make me feel good about the whole thing, because this is well outside the wheelhouse of what we would normally work on.
Sure.
But it's not outside
everything
the wheelhouse
feels so productive.
What we've played before. We've.
I know, which means it'll probably never get made.
I mean, I'm all for making it. We just got to get to a point where the economy.
We have something to make, yeah.
Well, yeah, we need to be able to have something to make, and then we also need to be at a point with the economy where, we don't have to find a way to place an order for 50,000 units to make it economical.
Right.
Cruise. Yeah, that will not be a possibility, probably. I want to start like with one element of the game, like the tiles and the domino aspect, and build from there. Okay. We lay these out. What do we do with them? Okay. What do we need to represent that? Okay. How do we control the actions of each player? And basically organically add the elements we need for each of the phases of the game by way of seeing, that they actually is a need to put them in there, and to combat the fact that we're just adding it because this is something that we like.
Well, and I mean, some of it is like, I think we've decided that we want tiles to be part of the game. So how we decide to add those and what they do.
Point. Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, like, you can take the part that you like and it could have a whole different way of working its way out in the game than what we started with, and still have tiles. But those tiles may be wildly different from what we imagined to start with. But as long as we can get the same type of pieces together, we can start to figure out how many of each we need, what number of components is going to be in the game, like that type of stuff. Early enough on that we can tell we've got to get rid of this. This is going to be too cumbersome, or this is going to be too expensive to put this aspect in there. So we got to go back to the drawing board on that one.
I have every expectation that there are going to be any number of mechanics that we've talked about that will fundamentally, at their core, be what we talked about, but in practice be nowhere near what they were in our initial discussions.
Oh, yeah. Some of that'll be space issues. Some of that'll be, product
it's
issue.
The old, I killed a chicken, I get the eggs.
Yep.
Discovery.
Some of it will be fun issue. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe we don't want to spend 20 minutes setting up the board before we're allowed to play. Or it's too confusing, or everything's too repetitive to be very strategic on certain things. Like
I kind of like the idea Jeff has about the phases being kind of organically building the thing, because you got this box, this game, you want to try it out, you open it up, and okay, the rules say we need this. Okay, I pull out this cellophane packed piece of cardboard, you rip it open, here's all the tiles, deal them out, or everybody drafts them, whatever, and then we start. The first part of the game is we lay these out. Okay, now that phase is done. What's in the next bag? You open that up and deal out the. It's like you don't have that half hour setting up the game.
I actually think that would be fucking amazing if we could make that work.
Well, and then if we do decide we need to make it multiple rounds of that, you've already done it once. It's much quicker to do it a second time for the next phase. And
once everything's out,
phase.
It's easier.
But you can start playing the game pack by pack, and then you just repeat those same steps a certain number of times after that.
Yeah. I don't know. That was just a pipe dream.
I am also in love with the idea of incorporating board setup as gameplay.
Yeah, because setting up the board for some of the things we've played before is cumbersome. I mean, Sentinels can be cumbersome setting up the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've played dozens of times. So
I just wanted to make sure there were more phases so that if you set it up where you didn't like the way you did it the first time, you still had more chances to fix it.
Yeah, we got the super military. They can blow it up and
I mean, I think
remove 3 tiles from the board.
I think that there
bulldozer
could be, there could be a couple of ways that we could accomplish, ways to fix a bad board.
Yeah, I don't doubt that we can do that. That's just one of the things that I'm saying out loud now, because I feel like that's a major pitfall that's easily identifiable up front.
Agreed. And I think if we approach this from the idea that part of the game is actually going to be playing through game setup, I think that's going to drive us to make sure that game setup doesn't take forever and is actually an enjoyable time.
Or is broken up into necessary steps. Sorry.
Right. I don't need. Oh, we have to have the resident math whiz here to set this all up, because you need 27 diagrams and 3 other of these and 2 other of these. And
thank you for liking that idea that I just kind of fever dreamed up.
But best idea of the night.
that idea alone has had me start thinking about other things that I've proposed in the past in a whole different way.
Carry on. Yes.
So I don't have anything specific. It's just I am excited because that immediately was just like, ooh, that's an entirely different spin on anything we've already talked about.
It
Right.
could
And
be
not,
now.
But it's the same components, so we're not getting
Yeah.
crazy with like, oh, we got to add a
Yeah.
whole bunch of this now.
Just to add a wrinkle to that, the tile placement can determine, or we can use that if we want to try it, as determining what faction you end up starting with.
potentially.
Like you play you played the greenhouse tile. That you're gonna start with the preppers.
I don't know. I feel like I would, because if only one person is going to be able to end up with a faction, and you and I are both laying out similar sort of schemes for what we're planning to do, because we're both planning to go anarchist cannibal, for whatever reason. And then it comes time to start picking. One of us gets that, and the other one gets butthurt.
What if we both get it?
I don't like that.
Why does it have to be one player? You're
'Cause
going for the
it's like-
for the cannibal win. I'm going there too. It's going to be harder for both of us because look at all this fresh
But
fruit laying around.
But I
is
feel like
why
that's both people picking rock, and then you got to
that is
roll
why
again.
I'm
I get you.
much more strongly advocating for you get your faction before you start with the board setup.
Okay.
And that way you know what you're playing and you're building the board based on that.
Right.
What if the tiles are in a pool and it's like first player? Okay, this is the tile everybody builds on. It's just a crater in the middle of the map. That's where everybody starts, or that's the linchpin or whatever.
I figured
On my turn,
we could
I
have
look through the
a
pool. I want to place
universal
this
center
one.
space.
Not a universal.
No, I figured
it is.
I figured we would have a universal center space.
Mm-hmm.
It's bingo card.
A bingo card, or the capital of the wasteland, or whatever.
What about, this doesn't have to be in the first phase, but like every faction has their own unique one tile that they get to place in one of the phases.
They're like base.
Yeah, basically their base. Like it can be, like, for example, if I put my base at the end of this certain road, like you can't get through that without accomplishing whatever you got to accomplish, as a way to kind of like slow people down behind you.
Maybe instead of being its own separate space on the board, it could be an overlay for an existing space.
Okay.
Well, kind of piggybacking off of Dylan's idea of each faction has a tile that is theirs. Once each player places the tile that is their faction, that ends phase one, and we go to the next bag. More tiles can be placed later. Card effect, faction effect, whatever. The board gets built through all phases, but the starting phase is we go around the table placing things and reacting to effects of those tiles being placed in the field. Like Oasis, place that down. Every player gathers this much water, but once we reach a point where each player has their faction's tile out that they're playing, okay, we start incorporating a different element into the game. No, that's the end of phase 1, discovery. Now we go into gather or defend or whatever you want to call it.
I could see how that could work. I think
I mean, we could
much
go on and
lay it
on
out
and on
try it a
because
few
Jeff
times.
just won't play his faction's card.
Well, I think there had to be a limited amount of cards total that can be played.
I think the flip side of that, though, is that if it's just going off everybody playing theirs, everyone could literally play theirs first turn, and it's first turn done.
Well, we could make certain ones can't be placed next to the starting square, or everything has to be placed 2 or 3 out from the starting square, depending on whatever we want to go with, and have a specific setup that you need for those.
We could play with it like every player places 3 tiles and then their faction.
Yeah. I just don't want it to turn into, why is this necessary, when all we could have just put it down to begin with type of thing either. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we got to kind of come up with some kind of.
If it turns into every turn
the game
you're going to be doing
element
the
of that,
same
yeah.
thing to set up, then why are we putting that in there?
Yeah. Creating the board should be a game in itself.
Right.
Just have to figure out what that
And it
means,
should
or
be-
that's the goal, and whether or not that's possible.
If it's possible to be replayable, different every time, that's what I'm shooting for, rather than everybody places 3 and then their faction.
Yeah, that is the thing that makes me think the 2-sided tiles might be counterproductive to gameplay, because if you can see which one, I'm going to pick that one always. This is the one that helps the guys I'm playing. I'm putting the abandoned oil field because I'm playing the Road Warriors. Yeah.
Right, but if the other side is good for the environmentalists, then you can keep it off the board during, location draft.
I think we also still need to keep consideration for shapes that are not rectangular or square.
Yeah, I think hexagons work really well.
Because hexagons can kind of just continue to be stacked, right?
Yeah, infinitely.
Okay.
I mean, it was hex maps are famous in RPGs, so they can map out entire worlds.
And they can grow organically in pretty much any direction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then yeah,
and
we'll start with those in mind.
Because it fits on a dining room table pretty easy too, because it's kind of circular almost. The more bigger it gets. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I played Catan, and you can add expansion to Catan, and you can just keep making a bigger board.
But I think if they can see what tile they're picking, rather than we're just randomly drawing from the pile. Okay, where do I want this? It makes the building of the board more random, and I guess I don't want to use the word fair, but more less easy to manipulate. Like you said, I'm going to grab the greenhouse because it's opposite the oil field, and that'll really screw the guy.
That's where the strategy comes in. That's why
I like maybe we don't have the 2-sided ones until phase 2, like after you've placed your first round, like the phase 2 ones, because now you've got a hang of it, to place stuff. Then more strategy comes in. Like maybe they're only, phase 2 and phase 3 tiles that you can place that'll be two-sided. And phase 1 is always one-sided, just to get the hang of it. This is all we'll shake out in playtesting, but
So
I think originally we had talked about there, instead of doing like phase 1, phase 2 tiles, like maybe we stick to like I think, God, was it last week before, we had talked about like there are tiles that can't be more than X number away from the center. So then that kind of solves the phase 1 thing where, if you make the double-sided tiles, phase 2, we would just, can't be within X squares of the center.
That starts to limit depending on how many tiles, it can start making all the maps look the same, limiting where things can be placed.
I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, the other thing would be that we just leave the tiles double-sided, but you can't flip them at the beginning. Like you just pick a side and go.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to flip it later on, there's factions and abilities and shit that can just do that.
I mean, some of it will depend on how much we're going to be doubling back. Like, are we constantly moving outward towards something, or if you're wanting to run all the way across the board, or you're running back through the starting square a bunch back and forth as you're doing things. So I think that'll, because like if we build it too big, you only have so much movement. You're never going to be able to make it all the way across the board again.
Is control something that's going to shift back and forth, or is it going to be I got control of this space first, I have that space for the game?
No, you defend it. I think
there's going to be
right.
Like there's going to be at least some control. Like it may lock in at some point, but the initial whatever,
you can make it really hard for somebody to take it from you.
Right. You fight over it, and then once you have it, maybe you have it for the game, maybe you get to have it and use its ability, but you can still move through it later on, or things like that. But like after it's been placed, I feel like there has to be at least several opportunities to take control from somebody else before it locks in, if it ever locks in. But if you're going to have something where it flips to be able to use the ability on the other side as you control it, then I feel like there's got to be a window to fight for it before that happens.
We could add a number or a pip to each tile, and you don't just pick your tile, you roll dice, and then you pick from the lots of, I rolled 4, I can pick any of the 4s and place one.
I feel like then that makes people sad that they rolled wrong and they didn't get to.
Oh yeah, we don't want people to be sad.
You don't want people losing games based off of a roll.
I don't want people losing games because Chad picked the tile I wanted to have the opposite side of.
Well,
my faction,
but that is a player
depends on it.
But that's where the mindset comes in, because that is a completely player controlled event versus the random chaos of a dice roll.
But also, if you know that you want what's on the bottom of that, you can go fight control for it. And, some stuff may be you can flip it right away for a small benefit, or something that gets flipped, once you've controlled it for 3 turns or something like that. Like, we could, I think we could make it all different for everyone.
If we use our brains, we can come up with enough locations that are either polar opposites or the result of some action. Like, you take a forest and you flip it, the other side is uh, basically a mountainside that's been, the logging company came through and cleaned out all the lumber. So now it's a mountainous terrain, easily defendable, mountain streams, whatever resource it's giving now. But I go there when it's a forest, and I want the wood for whatever reason. That resource, that flips it.
Sure.
And then the next person comes up there and takes the resource that it provides now, with flips it back to wood.
I'm fine
we
with
could
that.
do a teeter-totter back and forth the entire game. Things are changing because people are taking this or that and using it for
I'm fine with
purposes.
that because I don't realistically see that happening a lot unless there's a lot of fighting over one space.
And there could be
Well,
an entire game where they're just two people fighting over one space and to the detriment of the rest of their game.
That
And
could
that's
absolutely
fine.
be the case.
Like if they're allowed to spend your time fighting over a thing over here instead of advancing your stuff other places.
Don't tell me what's a detriment to my strategy.
Right. You can bait somebody into fighting for that space.
you don't know my
when
game.
You don't need it. Yeah. I think because that would lead to more funny interactions where like you keep playing it a bunch of times and you're like, remember that one time where you were fighting me over this the whole game and then we lost because this person was just doing what they were supposed to do the whole time? Like,
I think having actions like that make the locations flip. I don't want to say frequently, but easier. That helps rule out the Chad totally fucked me. I can't get the oil field now, kind of thing. I
right.
just
And
go there.
I'm
I can just go there and fucking flip it and then collect it.
and like you said, I like the thematic, like, oh, we mowed down all the forest and now it's just rocky. But it's easier to move through and you get some other benefit.
Yeah, like this shopping mall. Okay, we can collect these resources and flips it. Okay, now it's a refuge. We can use it as someplace to hide or fortify. And in order to flip a location, you have to run whoever's there off of it, kind of thing. So there's your combat.
Yeah, I mean, you have to at least be able to meet some requirement. Whether it's run somebody completely off or win whatever the battle is for that turn, and then you can do another battle next turn. Or it can be a constant, like you have to fight for it and defend it every action.
The only problem I see here is if we got tiles laid out and we got pieces moving around these tiles. Okay, I got to move all these pieces, flip this tile, move the pieces back. That's the realistic physical problem I see happening.
Well, I mean, it'd be like taking a different turn every time you wanted to go move all your guys over here and then start a fight. It's just like, going into combat every turn. You can do that. And it doesn't feel, I don't know, basically like it's not going to feel like you're moving so much around because you're doing it in steps as opposed to I'm moving over here and I'm going to take this tile and I'm going to fight you and I'm going to flip it over. Now it's your turn and you're going to move over here and you're going to do the exact same thing in reverse. And like everything gets set up for the battle and then the battle happens. Not that there is 27 little battles.
Okay, so there's there's the minor and a valid also concern about the middle of the board being a pain in the ass to flip after the game has progressed for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an absolutely valid concern. But I think it also maybe helps us answer one of Dee's earlier questions about when a space might lock in to looking like what it's going to look like for the remainder of the game. What if the only ones that can be flipped are the ones on the outermost ring?
Okay.
The only
That's
problem I see with that is if you're on one side and you have to run to the other side, how many movement resources that would take.
that's choices.
Yeah. I just don't want something to be like, well, I can't win now because I've been locked out of this side of the board because I only have X amount of movement and I can never move there.
We could also have it doing like nothing but movement being kind of a very generous turn.
Yeah. And then we definitely want, like, the Road Warriors to have extra movement options and things like that. Like, basically,
We
you're
could
talking
also
about a dash action instead of anything else.
we could also make give some actions like earthquake or whatever, and you can literally move tiles or trade to tiles locations. I mean, there's just no limit to what we can have happen in the game, but if somebody places a tile somewhere and you're like, that's really inconvenient. Oh, cool! I drew this card. Blow it all up.
And the
A sinkhole, and this tile gets removed, and these two move together.
And it may well be that the easiest resolution here would be that each of the factions has whatever their base move space is. So like one faction could move 5 and another one could move 6 or 4 or whatever. And so you use your action as a move action, and you could move up to that many spaces. Varies by faction because the different factions have different capabilities.
Each faction's location or home or base or whatever we want to call it doesn't have to be a tile either. It can be an icon that you place on a tile. Like, this is my base. This is, my group moves. Your group moves from place to place. The constant chaos of the world now, no one's safe in one location forever.
But by making it a number instead of like every move is just a single space, by giving it a larger number and a bigger range, I think that helps alleviate the concern about the board getting too big and not being able to cross it. Yeah, it might still take you some actions to get there, but movement can feel a bit more dynamic.
Mm-hmm. I think land destruction could be an element as well.
No.
Why? Sinkholes and earthquakes.
Because we are already going through so much to make sure that building the game board is such a fun and integral part of the game. No, we're not just going to immediately then blow it up.
Can you imagine fighting 20 turns over something that you really need and somebody's just like, sinkhole, fuck you? Like, that'd be the most toxic thing possible.
Oh, yeah.
God, that sounds amazing.
I want to
sign me
so
the
bad.
fuck up.
I mean, only if you could add more dials.
Like, fuck you!
I want to do this because I want to watch Ray's mind break when 10 turns into something. I just fucking destroy the location that he's been fighting to try and get.
Yeah. We all have our triggers.
I mean, it's fun for us, but I don't know that that's fun as a general purpose.
Oh, no.
Option.
No. It'll happen in playtest, and then we will say, oh, this is never happening again.
Yeah, maybe we got to really hit ourselves over the head with it before we realize this is a bad idea.
We usually do.
I don't know. We got some thick skulls in this group.
But there may be a toned down version of it that's good, or
Sure.
like if it's worth 3 of a resource, you may be able to do something to make it only worth 2 of a resource, like
I think the
lessen it
compromise
without
is,
destroying it.
yeah, don't destroy it. You can shift them, swap to tiles, locations, kind of thing.
Maybe. I like the flipping. I don't know if I like the swapping because it just depends on if we're required to have it next to certain things to function. Because if that is anything that we're trying to do, then that's not going to be fun.
There can also be, well, like certain locations would be, terraforming is not the correct word, but that you could thematically change in the game. They could flip once, you know, and the person that flips it that first time has a, gets some kind of benefit. Not game changing, but worthwhile.
Well, I think that's
Well,
one of the
and
things we're going to have to look at.
Yeah.
for example, once again, going back to the one that you mentioned, like the forest or something, like it may provide this resource. If you decide to destroy it and flip it, it provides just a different resource in the same amount.
Oh yeah, in its base form, it provides, X number of shelter or concealment. You're hiding in the forest, like the uh, apes in Planet of the Apes kind of thing. But if somebody cuts down the forest, okay, uh, it's no longer that refuge, but it does give us this benefit.
But maybe you can scavenge and get extra equipment and extra stuff because somebody's underground base was blown up.
Yeah.
Not faction specific, but just generic whatever's underground base.
Chad, do you need to let your dogs out?
It is about that time, sir.
Then I think we probably should wrap things up before we
I'm good.
go deep diving down another rabbit hole for another 45 minutes. And because I know that'll happen and I know we'll all love it. So yeah, we'll be back next week. We have been Two Fools Rushing In because I didn't get us an intro up top. So give us a halfway decent outro.
Okay.